play was 4 week, and I got the ball, I ran through the
and I just fell back in to just finish the play like I normally would do.
and Zac came in. He tried to hit me, but I was so low to the ground.
Antonio Coleman came from the other side. We both was finishing the play. I didn't see him, he didn't see me, and we just collided.
And that's when Zac landed on top of me. And then as everybody went to getting up and everything, I noticed Zac wasn't getting up.
It looks as though there's a player or two still down.
As I kept looking at him, it's just his whole body was limp. And you know that's not normal. I mean, he was laying on top of a guy, and then after the foul had already gotten up, you just saw a lifeless body on top of another guy.
So I was like, maybe he just sitting here, he gonna get up in a minute. But after a while, he still was sitting there, so I just laid there.
Wow, Zac Etheridge just laying right on top. Both those guys don't seem to be moving too much.
At that time, I knew it was my neck. I just felt pain go down my spine.
It was like dead weight on me, so I knew something had to be wrong. So I just was sitting there just hoping he was okay.
And you were wondering what had just happened. I thought for a minute maybe he had just passed out, but then the worst started coming through your mind. And you're thinking that you know, he could be paralyzed.
Man, that's just awful to see. It is absolutely awful to see that.
There wasn't no words exchanged between me and him. It was just like all shock, like, what do I do next?
A lot of people thought I was unconscious. I was awake the whole time. I felt everything. I experienced it. To be up and witness it and know exactly what was going on, that was the most scariest part of my life.
I waited for him to get up, but I just think it was God in me just telling me not to move. That's all it could have been. It was God making me wait.
And who knows what made him think that there was something wrong, because all he knew was just, you know, 215 pounds laying on him. It's just an act of God that the kid didn't actually toss him off of him.
I really don't know, you know, what made him not move. It was kind of unique, you know, how we normally get in the game, everybody want to pop up and things like that. I would say I had to been blessed.
After talking to all the doctors, if he had thrown him off, the kid probably lost his life. And that's how serious it was, because it was only by him laying there and sitting still that they were able to stabilize Zac and get him off the field and rush to the hospital.
Once I started getting my feeling back, you know, I gave a thumbs up just to let everybody know that I was okay. By the time I got to the hospital, I was just like, put me in a room, I want to watch my teammates play.
As Etheridge lay in a hospital bed, the Tiger defense played one of its most inspired games of the season, shutting down the Rebels en route to a 33-20 victory. The severity of his injury would soon be revealed: a cracked fifth vertebra and badly torn neck ligaments.
Of course, my first question to the doctors was, will I be able to play the game again? You know, they gave me all these, I don't know, we got to run some more tests.
A lot of people kept saying his career was over with, but I could see the drive. He had a desire for the game. He had a deep spiritual belief in God.
A lot of people wasn't expecting me to come back within a year of a serious neck injury, but I look at it as a big step of testing your faith.
You watch a kid get up every morning at 5 o'clock. You see him in the rehab, and he does everything you ask him to do. He comes back in the afternoon, he comes back in the evening. Just to watch that process, just the discipline, I'm really proud of Zac.
It really feels good to be back out there. Back then, when the injury happened, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to, but you know, I've been given that green light, and I have took every advantage of the opportunity.
Ball comes loose, Etheridge picks it up, down the sideline, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown Auburn!
When it first hit me, that Rodney really just saved my life. When I actually got on the phone with him, he didn't really seem that, you know, he was a hero. It was just something he just did.
And I was just telling her, I mean, it was all in the spirit of God. And I was telling her, I'm happy that he all right and stuff. And me and Zac had a relationship ever since then.
I text him sometime after a game or something and say, how you holding up, how your body feeling. Just know that I'm thinking about him every day I step out on that field because, you know, if it wasn't for him and if it wasn't for God, I probably wouldn't be out there again.
He'll look at that game probably as the blessing game. Somebody tell you you're probably never going to play again, and then against you get there a whole year later, you playing against that team that people told you it would never happen again. So I know for him, it's going to be a lot of symbolism behind that game.
Things happen for a reason. For it to happen that way, Rodney was the guy. And then, you know, I thank him every day for it.
You never know when your last down of football, so don't never take it for granted. So I look at it that Zac got a second chance.
We will always remember each other. You know, we will always remember that time of life, and we probably will always communicate.